Welcome back to Beards and Brews. This week's review is going to be Mars Attacks. Guys, I like this movie.
I thought this movie was really fun.
Before we get started, this cast stars myself, Eric.
Me, Brady.
And I'm Chandler.
And yeah, I don't know. I didn't know I had a sweet spot for this movie, but it was a lot of fun.
Tim Burton, not at his best, but not at his worst, really.
It's at its most wacky.
Definitely wacky.
You guys may have enjoyed this, but I struggled my ass off through this film. I tried to make jokes in my own head to make myself enjoy this more. The best one I came up with was actually just the title, Mars Attack Ack.
You're like 2 pages of notes, literally just like ack for the entire thing.
Yeah, my biggest complaint was the thing that drew me in initially was the campy soundtrack and the goofiness. I was having fun with that, and then it just started to wear on me.
I guess so. Like it's almost like 50-50. The first half of this movie, nearly to the minute, is almost a little like a serious science fiction movie, and then like a switch, they flick it, and it just goes into insanity.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The first half of it, you're like, all right, we've got this. It's a normal sort of alien invasion movie. I can get down with it. Definitely sort of an homage to 50s and 60s, the campy style alien invasion movies, and then it just turns into Looney Tunes. You got Marvin the Martian doing wacky stuff and just blowing the town to smithereens.
They whip out their old intergalactic super soakers and go right to town.
Right.
I felt the acting in this movie, other than honestly, other than Jack Nicholson.
It's so bad. Everybody's bad. It's so great because it's just all just flat. It's so bad.
This is with a cast of Jack Nicholson. You know, you got Glenn Close, Donnie DeVito, Jack Black, Martin Short. You got
Pierce
Brosnan,
Natalie Portman, Pam Grier, Christina Applegate. All these people, and it's just blamp.
Shout out to Jim Brown for just being in this movie. Period.
Shout out to him for being in another movie we reviewed, Running Man. Just being in it. Just Jim Brown again.
What you doing in there? Being me.
But this movie is just full of just like, I don't want to call it cinematic excellence, but man, this movie is a huge throwback to the 50s sci-fi movies. Like, I'm talking about super B movies. I'm talking about movies that were made for like $12 and a pack of Snickers.
The kind of thing that makes Plan B or Plan 9 from outer space look like, I don't know, something good.
Yeah, I was going to say Plan 9's the movie. Plan B is that heart-stopping medication that your girlfriend didn't take the night before.
Oh, no.
It's got so many cute little things, like the flying saucers that are completely retro.
Oh, dude, they're so cool.
Yeah. The way the aliens behave, the wardrobe for the characters, the way they want to do things. It, to me, had they not went so overboard on this, it could have been really, really, really good.
I don't think they had a choice. I think you gotta go all out.
I kind of have to agree to that. I think that's the only way to do it. It's either going to come off way too full of itself or what we have today.
If they stopped short of where they went, this movie wouldn't have been noteworthy.
Martin Short. I see what you did there. Him and his hooker fetish in this film.
It's so great because he's probably one of the nicest comedians to ever walk the earth, and just him picking up whores on the street just made me laugh every time.
As a complete sleazeball.
Yeah, absolutely. His stupid, like, open wide look the entire movie.
My standout for this was all day, every day Jack Nicholson. If he was on the screen, I was enjoying myself.
See, that's what I was going to bring to the cast, is that I'm not going to refer to anybody by their character's name. He is going to be President Nicholson. Period.
Yeah, that's what I have through the whole thing. President Nicholson. I've got Professor Brosnan.
Professor Bond.
Yep. I did the same. For Michael J. Fox and Sarah Jessica Parker, I merely put MJF and SJP.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have. Well, where we start out is we've actually got a few different locations. We've got 4 miles outside of Lockjaw, Kentucky, and we see an event where we've got a bunch of cattle, a cattle stampede on fire, and that's where we know something's going on.
See, this is another time perfect to throw it back to another film reference that I keep trying to do. Tremors. There's a stampede of flaming cows, and all I could think was Stampede Earl.
Then that flashes to you get an introduction to President Jack Nicholson. I don't know what his actual name is. It's Jack Nicholson. Announces
President
to the
Handful of
public,
Nickels.
he announces to the public that they've spotted aliens, Martians from Mars, from the Hubble space probe, and this is what's going on. These are the facts.
Then we get to meet his alter ego, Scumbag Nicholson, who I prefer way over President Nicholson.
Now, to make it clear, these are not the same person in the movie. They're just played by the same actor.
I would totally be convinced that the president was moonlighting as like a Vegas scumbag.
It is a super fun character, and everything he does as Scumbag Jack Nicholson, if you pay attention, it is Beetlejuice. He is just being Beetlejuice. He does the little dance that Beetlejuice does whenever he gets all horny and wants to go to the brothel. It's all there.
I was thinking like a little bit of Beetlejuice and a little bit of like Randy Savage, Macho Man.
No, because the deep Macho Man voice.
Maybe it's a stupid little cowboy hat that he wears. I don't fucking know.
You get to see Jim Brown and his character. He's playing a casino pharaoh. I guess it doesn't mention the Luxor, but I'm going to guess one of the Egyptian-themed casinos in Las Vegas.
Yeah, and if anybody's played GTA San Andreas, it's the big triangle place.
Oh,
I think he I don't know if he's trying to act or whatever, but him...
Oh, no, he's not acting at all. He's literally just saying his lines and just angry face.
That's
he
what he
has
is in
no
his
emotion.
But it works so well for the character, because he's just sitting there, the manager's giving me the stink eye. I got it.
Yeah.
I got it.
And which is crazy, because in the movie, he's married to Pam Grier, and he's got like a couple kids. And they're separated by like the whole country. They live in D.C., and he's hanging out in Vegas.
Yeah, and then we get introduced to the family from Kansas. They're just looks like a redneck family with one more or less normal loner kid, who's played by I don't know. His name's what was his name?
Guy.
Richie. His name's Richie. So
Was it?
that's yep.
Yeah.
His name's
His
Richie.
character's name is Richie, and the grandma keeps calling him Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh,
but she
yeah,
calls
that's right.
everyone Thomas.
First of
That's
all,
Jack
the grandma's a
Black's
sweetheart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. She's certainly on her way into senility.
On her way, huh?
On her, she is in that pocket. Poor old granny.
The redneck family, they don't have their time to shine until like full on alien invasion. Not the early bits, but they ain't taking the TV. They get some of the best lines.
Well, I'll tell you one thing:
great.
they're not taking the TV.
And then they cock the shotgun. Just
I remember that line from the trailer, actually, and from 1996. I remember that line from the trailer.
Well, that corners all the dumbass American market right there.
Right. But this family does include Jack Black. That's he's, I guess, the son or nephew or something. He's in there somehow.
And he's doing his best Forrest Gump impression for the entire time he's on screen.
for sure. He is
It is
Forrest.
so good.
Applegate is 100% Jenny. That is just their throw out there. It's there. They're doing it, and it's really good. I enjoyed this.
Absolute idiot American hero.
Yeah, and to see him fit and trim is really weird.
It is really weird. Like, he was so just thin. I was just like, where is the rest of you?
He just hasn't been on Hot Ones yet.
But the Martians come down. They all like congregate in the middle of the Nevadan desert, just like have like a welcome to Earth party.
Welcome to Earth.
They're getting all their info from Pierce Brosnan, the science guy. Pierce.
And Professor Brosnan is absolutely convinced, this is a peaceful race. They're, super intelligent, and super intelligence societies can only be peaceful, right?
Well, I
Oh,
think they absolutely were peaceful though, because we find out later on, they just hate birds. And some dipshit hippie had to bring a dove to the little ceremony and let it loose, and they're like, "Oh shit, bang, 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 bang!" 6 shooters ahoy.
now I don't know if you're purposely misleading people, but they definitely did not intend to be peaceful, sir.
They blew up Congress. Ha ha ha.
All right, so even through this, the terrible scene where they start firing at the dove and then fire at the crowd. They take several casualties in the Nevada desert. You've still got Pierce Brosnan saying maybe it was just a misunderstanding. Maybe these guys are actually peaceful and we just set them off somehow.
Yeah, Remington Steele is being disgustingly optimistic at this point.
Meanwhile, the Secretary of Defense, General what's-his-name, just keeps going on about liberals, intellectuals, peacemongers, and idiots. We gotta nuke them. We gotta kill the bastards. I mean, maybe they should have listened to them from the beginning.
We also lost a true American hero during this scene in Jack Black's character.
That's not.
What was it?
Never mind.
What was his character name? Like Billy something or other?
Forrest Gump.
He had two names. It was like Billy Joe or something like that.
Billy Ray Cyrus Jr. the Third.
Poor Billy Jean.
But
Billy Joe Armstrong.
he gets shot, and we discussed this long before we watched this film, Eric, about how he wiggles so intently. Just
Yeah, he totally surrenders just immediately, which is amazing.
he's like, I surrender, and then they shoot him. He's like, ugh, 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 just patented Jack Black noises.
Yeah, it's almost like he was satisfied. He was just,
juicy. Yes.
And through this whole scene, we've got Annette Bening's character, who is the girlfriend, I guess, or the side piece of scumbag Jack Nicholson. And we've got her just watching down on everything with her healing crystal because she's some kind of a new age hippie chick looking like fucking I Dream of Jeannie or something.
You got to bring your prisms to the desert, catch all the sunshine.
Yeah, got to refract that light. That's how you heal. At this point, they go and shoot into Vegas or whatever, and it's just a bunch of gibberish. But one of the better pieces there is you get to, again, learn more about Jack Nicholson's character. And he wants Byron to be his hired muscle. Won't do it. But he references a fight that he had, and it's like one of these classic fights. And he says, Byron, I remember you from the Quaker in Jamaica.
Yeah. See, that line was beautiful, but I have to point out, what the fuck was he doing jogging in the middle of the fucking road?
Yeah,
Everybody was on the sidewalk, but he was.
The whole sidewalk. And he tells Jack Nicholson that he gave all that up, He's got a left hook from hell, but he found Allah, gave up pork. Jack Nicholson sits back in his limo with this shocked look on his face, and he's like, you gave up pork.
But it hard cuts away. They have that little meeting in Congress to try to stir some peace treaty or whatever with the Martians.
Yeah. And it is around this time that I really started to get annoyed with the soundtrack.
The theremin.
It's just oh my god, it was driving me nuts. When it first started, or when it would just briefly do it when it showed a UFO, okay, but then it really started to just anytime they even spoke about an alien, spoiler, which is the entire fucking movie, they're back there shit going on, and you're like, come on.
I don't know what that's a throwback to, but it directly reminds me of an episode of the Dick Van Dyke Show called It May Look Like a Walnut, where Rob has a dream. He's watching some kind of an alien horror movie, and he's talking about a character, like an alien that looks like Danny Thomas coming in, and every time he comes around, there's this noise that's like, and that's probably not translating well to audio, but that's what it reminds me of.
But what I'm hearing is that this movie should have been like 100% more meta, to where when they blast away all these congressmen, they also killed the theremin guy in the corner.
Yeah. Like, he's gone and they can wipe that shit out because they just fucking amp it up. Like, the entire time the invasion's going on, it just keeps getting more and more and more and more product.
They pump it pretty hard, and I do have to agree, not with the music. I love the music, but man, the sound of the blasters they have, that got on my nerves.
Piercingly loud. Not Pierce Brosnanly loud, just fucking piercingly loud into your ears. And they shoot a lot.
Yeah, not a noise you can bond with.
Uh-huh.
One of the scenes I did enjoy, though, is whenever the aliens are up top and they're in their little UFO and they're looking at like a nudie mag. And after they blew up everything, they took Sarah Jessica Parker's character hostage, and they're looking at the nudie mag. And apparently they got like little dick cheeks or cheek weenies or some shit. They got these little things that hang off their cheeks, and when they look at something else, they're like, and they fucking wiggle like Pauly Shore's finger doing weasel, buddy. You know, it's fucking weird.
Does Pauly Shore come up in every one of these casts? We gotta stop that.
You know, if you mention him enough times, he'll just show up on the podcast, so I hear.
We gotta shut the fuck up.
He's got nothing going on.
He's so mad. Oh my god. But they're probably like alien wieners or something, because when were doing their little autopsy or whatever, they were surprised of the absence of genitalia.
Yeah, was, they said, the most notable
that had to
thing
be
is
pointed
the
out.
absence of genitalia.
Shit, there's no space wieners.
So they're back down, they're fucking around in Congress, and they basically let you know that it's all a setup. They don't want peace. They want to fuck with these people because it's like, we want peace, and it shows them up in the fucking spaceship carrying around other little experiments, and they're just laughing about peace. So they're just setting up to do something dirty again.
Like, look at these stupid motherfuckers.
But in the Martian way, too.
Right.
Ack, motherfuckers.
Exactly.
Oh man, I just thought of a great idea. Like a sequel starring Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh.
Printing money as we speak, guys.
We gotta get this crowdfunded.
No. I'd rather have
Why do you gotta do that to us? Because he's gonna be just like, Weasel, and I'm just gonna be like, I'm sad now.
That's what you say until he's on here and he's like, what's up, buddy? And you're like, oh shit, what's up, buddy? And he's just like, yeah, that's a character. I have a real human personality.
And then I'll just be like, hey, remember that time you were in a Goofy movie? That's a good movie.
Oh, a Goofy movie.
But anyhow.
Yeah. They kill Congress. Jack Nicholson has a breakdown. One of the guys is like, we gotta kill. And Jack Nicholson yells, shut up. General waddles away, and he goes, I want the people to know that they got 2 out of 3 branches of government still working for them, and that ain't bad.
Yeah, it's really
love
nice
that.
to know that the president is a Meatloaf fan.
I just love how he just explained that. It's like 2 out of 3 just ain't bad, you know? The world's on fire, but hey, you know, it's not bad.
We got the good ones. We got the judicial, and you got me. That's all you need.
We get another shot of old Jack Nicholson's scumbag character with his little blue suit, and he's sitting there. He's like, I want every limo stocked with all the alcohol known to man. And while we're talking about alcohol, I've got one of them right here. And,
one of the alcohols known to man.
Yeah, just one of them. I'm sure
what
you
are
have
sipping
another.
on?
I have, in honor of Mars Attacks, UFO white, crisp, light-bodied, and brewed with orange peel and coriander. The bottle was my favorite part of this alcoholic beverage. It had a cool little UFO symbol on it, and it looked cute. I picked it up, and the bottle has like the shooting stars actually in the bottle. Like you can touch them; they're emblazoned upon it. And there's a little UFO actually on the bottle, which again I thought was kind of cool. We're doing Mars Attacks. The lid has a little UFO printed on it. Again, fun. I poured the beer. I took a smell. A wet animal of some sort. I was not happy with the nasal scent I got, so I took a sip, and I was not happy with that. But not being a complainer, I kept going back. Ugh, like just now. If I had to say it tasted like anything, it tastes like beer that you left out. It's just that whole idea of orange peel and coriander. Number one, I don't get a single hint of citrus whatsoever. Coriander, I believe that's a flower. There's no hint of anything floral. It just tastes like your average. I went to the fucking store and got a Pabst Blue Ribbon because I wanted to get drunk and it's cheap.
Oh no.
Yeah, I was not impressed.
As far as thematically, I went sort of the same direction. I've got Area 151
Love it.
From Wild Wolf Brewery. It's out of Nelliesford, Virginia. They call it a Belgian-style ale brewed with blackberries. And it's pretty strong. It's 7% ABV. And you can probably tell that it's got a strong alcohol backbone to it. Color, you can definitely tell that there's some blackberries in there. There's a little bit of that tartness from the blackberries in the flavor, but it's really not overwhelming at all. Not really a whole lot of real berry fruit. It's a solid, decent, like Belgian ale, Belgian blonde style ale. It's fine. I'll drink it.
Well, speaking of berry, I'm on the wine train again with West Virginia's Fruit and Berry. Luscious cherry blossom, just so I can finish the bottle. None to waste there. And it's lovingly bottled in Ohio. So.
Oh, lovely.
There you go. That's my review. Ohio.
Ohio, West Virginia wine. It'll get you drunk.
Speaking of drunk.
This bombshell of a Stepford wife character steps off the bus and is immediately picked by Martin Short's character.
He's just cruising through DC, he's just looking for hoers.
Yeah, and I love how they framed the shot. She has like that. It's weird to try to describe it like that, but the upturned breast, that the bras were shaped to form, I guess, back then.
The ski slope.
Yeah, the ski slope breast. So she has that. And it's larger, and it's just boom, right there in the frame the entire time that Martin Short's face is also in the frame. So he's talking, and it's just a tit.
Yeah, first of all, this character doesn't look at all like just a Martian dressed up as a 1950s style high-end hooker.
No. Yeah, she's just tall, blonde, and weird.
Her walk that they designed for her is amazing. One of the coolest things about it is how she moves.
She like floats or something like that.
Yeah,
it's
just
weird.
sort of like a...
It's gliding. It's really weird.
And I noticed that as I was watching, she never blinks. Like, while her face is on frame, her eyes never close. It's ridiculous.
Catch,
so freaky.
Catch.
Press Secretary Martin Short takes this this young lady, takes her to the White House, takes her deep into the White House, into the Kennedy room, which...
Yeah, the presidential fuck room.
So in the fuck room, you see in the presidential fuck room, gotta get that correction in there.
Gotta stay classy.
Oh yeah, gotta keep it classy. You see Martin Short trying to hook up with her in this very Austin Powers-esque bed scene where he's like flopping down on it, rolling around.
Yeah, he's trying to make her Randy.
Do I make you horny, baby? Yeah! But she's been chewing gum this entire time, just chewing gum. And Martin Short wants to get the gum out of her mouth so he can kiss her. Well, the face rips away as she bites off his finger. And it's like foil over the little alien's face. And the gum was like nitrogen to help it breathe. But then it goes on a rampage inside the White House.
Yeah, it goes after the president, or excuse me, President Nicholson.
Yeah, she goes off into like this sort of a spy, like a James Bond type spy mission to try and find the president. Starts sneaking around and everything, and then the dog starts barking and gives her up. Could have ended
No.
this thing right there.
Poor Rufus. Took one for the team.
Yeah.
He's a true American. He and Jack Black.
At this
Man.
point, my notes got pretty confusing for me. I have dog death, presidential hostage, bird death, alien murder, alien pimp smack, suits stamper. Man, I was losing interest hard at this point. I literally wrote all that down.
Well, that pretty much sums up the next scene, because after that they start just invading Earth like crazy.
Yeah, it's a complete invasion, but not before First Lady Glenn Close has an unfortunate death with a chandelier, a huge.
Oh.
What was it?
The Reagan chandelier.
Was it the Reagan chandelier? Yeah, it just comes crashing down on her.
Can I please point out how cartoony she died? I mean, she like the Wicked Witch of the West melting in water. She just goes flat.
Yeah, at this point, this turns into a Looney Tunes cartoon.
Yeah. We next get a montage of the aliens all around the world destroying famous monuments in a scene of monumental destruction.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
Ooh, dang, that's straight up Twisted Metal 2 up in here. Because there's that one level you can blow up the Eiffel Tower. All right.
Yeah, that was a really good level.
Oh yeah.
Because I used to always blow that shit up, because I would get up there and play as Mr. Grimm, and I would what's the famous, the fucking Louvre or whatever it's called, the famous art place. Yeah, I'd ramp that up left to make my little motorcycle jump over there, and I'd turn around and wait for any of the cars to come up the teleporter, and I'd nail them with this special because it was so strong that it would knock them off and do heavy damage.
Noted.
Then it cuts to our final scene of scumbag Jack Nicholson as his Beetlejuice character is trying to sell his casino idea to a bunch of foreign dignitaries, and they're not having it, while the aliens destroy everything in the background.
I love how he's just like totally in it to win it, even though the world is just crumbling around him. Like he's still trying to like sell to these investors while the entirety of Las Vegas is on fire behind him.
It's
When
all
the
good.
aliens invade, they're gonna have to have a place to stay.
He got
It's
his big
It's just a
line.
business opportunity.
Yeah, his big line was, "I was into aliens before they were even here," or Martians. I'm sorry. It's pretty good.
What a whack
So after-
job. He's so good.
Yeah, you can tell with that character he is having fun, and it makes you have fun.
So we completely forgot about Tom Jones. We just see Tom Jones.
Dick Jones?
Tom Jones. No, Dick Jones.
I
Dick
work.
Jones. Tom Jones.
I know.
Tom Jones, presented by OCP.
Look, it's not unusual.
It's not unusual.
To
It's not unusual. Fuck it, I fucked it up. I'm gonna fucking.
So we got Tom Jones, and the aliens just invade and blow up his band, and Tom Jones makes a run for it.
Oh no! They didn't just blow up the band.
Sir, they
Wait
became
till-
backup dancers.
Exactly. They decided to become a part of the band, and only when he noticed he were there, they decided to blow everybody away.
Had he just continued to put on a show like a true showsman, shit would have been all right.
It's not unusual.
Then we get introduced to Danny DeVito.
He's such an egg in this movie. I can't stand it.
Yeah, it's just, don't anybody want to play craps no more? I can't do a good Danny DeVito.
He made his first appearance way back at the beginning of the movie, and then wasn't around at all until this point.
Nah.
It's just foreshadowing for more Danny DeVito.
Well, he's so short that everything foreshadows over him.
Martin Short.
Then one of my favorite scenes comes up is where the aliens, they're already invading, they're roaming around their little suits shooting everybody, and one's carrying a translator, says, "Don't run, we are your friends." And
I love it.
it's like shooting the people while it's saying that.
I
Just
feel like
causing
it had to
so
have
much
worked at least
chaos.
once.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's saying they're our friends, so they can't be the ones blowing us up. So shit's going on. You go back to the redneck family, and Richie is like, "We got to go get Grandma." Oh, forget Grandma. She's halfway to outer space anyway. while they're
That
all
line
like,
is so good.
while they're all loading up their shotguns and everything to protect the trailer.
Yeah, they ain't taking the TV.
Yeah.
And so Richie runs out to go save the grandma, and the trailer park gets invaded, and you get to see Christina Applegate's Jenny character getting railed by some random dude, and the aliens are outside fogging up their little helmets. I'm telling you, at this point, I was just confused on what the hell was even happening.
Well, Jack Black's been dead like 2 days, and she's already just like on top of somebody else. That's what they're trying to say.
No, I got that. It was just the whole movie was just, I was lost. I was done with it. I was like, what the fuck is going on? And then we finally get to see the nukes. He fires the nukes up into fucking space.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
before that, but when he tries to get him to the general, what's his name, hard ass.
General Army man.
He's talking to the president. President, sign this. And you see the president, President Nicholson, is just exasperated. What's this? It's an order to deploy our nuclear capabilities. And I just love that he says nuclear there. That's pre-George W. Bush nuclear.
He talks him into nuking. They shoot the nuke. One nuke. They shoot it up. They shoot at this little red thing that sucks it up. Looks like the Auga bullhorn from the Max.
I love this.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. The aliens are just like, I think they're trying to communicate.
And yeah, and he takes it and he just smokes it or inhales it or something. And I was like, this is fucking stupid.
It's absolutely a Looney Tunes moment. That is like Bugs Bunny and Marvin the Martian going at it right there.
Now, I'm all about nonsense. I loved the nonsense bits of Gremlins too, but with this, I was just agitated by it. Like 100%. I just did not enjoy this. These creatures being goofy was not amusing to me. I was more amused by Jack Nicholson than these little creatures. Like the satire they use and the little quick cuts and the funny things, like whenever it shows all the places getting blown up, like with the Taj Mahal, and they're taking a selfie with it. And then it gets the quick cut of Godzilla destroying Tokyo, and you're like, oh shit, Godzilla's in this? What's going on? And then it turns out it's just somebody watching it on the TV.
But then they flick it over to the Dukes of Hazzard, and they're like, whoa.
Yeah. Those little things are funny. I like those.
Well, I was going to say, if that doesn't move you, the ambassador got moved to tears here shortly after because they break into the presidential bunker, blow everybody away, smash the army guy, they shrink him and everything. And fucking President Nicholson has one of the greatest speeches ever to be used. Oh yeah, it's just like, why can't we just all get along? And little weepy tear just falls down his stupid skeletal face.
And he reaches out to shake that man's hand.
Surprise.
Fucking turns into some kind of like hand creature with a tail thing that runs all over him, stabs him through the chest, he falls down dead, the little Mars flag comes out, they walk off. And
then oh.
My next note is world saved by yodeling. That's it.
I love how like like in War of the Worlds, like all the aliens died because of like the common cold, or like the aliens and signs, they died because of water. And in this movie they died because of country music.
I mean, it is what it is. Whoever wrote that fucking end speech for the main character, whenever he's like, we will rebuild, I mean, whatever, stuff, but stuff is bad, I think we should live in teepees. I was like, what in the fuck is going on?
Oh man, that was so genuine. I like that. Just like I can just see you sitting on the couch, like, what in the fuck at the TV?
Yeah, it's like whenever I watched the new Predator film, The Predator, whenever the fucking end happened, I turned around and looked around into the rest of the theater, like, what? And everyone else in the theater kind of had that, like, that hand on the face kind of thing, where you're like, oh my god, what? Oh no, what just happened? Because it was the dumbest fucking shit. It was just like this, just the dumbest fucking shit.
So to catch everybody up, what actually happens is while Richie goes to gather his grandmother from the home, the aliens are setting up this mega death ray to shoot her.
Just her.
For one person.
Just her, yes. Just grandma. And she's just sitting there jamming out to some Slim Whitman, and her headphones come unplugged. And evidently, that is the kryptonite for these Martians. You hear Slim Whitman's yodeling, the smooth sounds of, Indian Love Call. You
Yep.
hear that, and your brain just can't take it anymore.
It's like an intergalactic brown note.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so inevitably, Grandma and Richie end up driving around and spreading around Slim Whitman's Indian Love Call to every radio station on the planet, and that saves everything. That explodes the Martians' heads. Victory for mankind, and Jim Brown through this boxes a Martian.
This cast was fucking wasted.
It would not surprise me if all of them were wasted through the filming of this.
This movie got a
especially-
6.3 on IMDb, a 53% on Rotten Tomatoes, and a 52% on Metacritic, and I would fucking take a shit on this film any goddamn day.
Ooh, Jesus. Tell us how
That's
you
rough.
really feel.
Fuck this movie.
This
Here.
movie is nowhere near as bad as last week's Gremlins, so this was much more fun.
Disagree wholeheartedly. I would rather watch fucking Gremlins 2 on repeat for a
Ugh.
week than watch this fucking movie again.
I would recommend it. It's a lot of fun. At least check it out for Nicholson alone.
Okay, I'll give him that. Jack Nicholson's character in here, whenever he is both the president and scumbag Jack Nicholson, the guy, he kills it.
I think it's a really fun, it's a really goofy movie. It really is. Don't walk into this thinking it's going to be a serious alien invasion science fiction film. It's definitely it's a spoof. It's a spoof on all the 50s, 60s B alien invasion movies, and it's done really fun with a great cast. That's just, they're having fun. They're not taking anything too serious, and you shouldn't either. It turns into a Looney Tunes cartoon, and that's fine.
Though I am surprised that you didn't like it, Brady. It's okay.
I'll be the first one to admit I came in wanting to like it. I really did. I remember enjoying bits and pieces of it, fragmented in my memory. But I guess that's all I held on to were my parts that I enjoyed. And so going back and watching this, maybe I was just worn thin from Gremlins. I don't know.
Oh man, we're still in the fallout of Gremlins too.
That'll be affecting us for our lifetime.
Well, that was Mars Attacks.
If you enjoy what we're doing out here, we could definitely use those likes and subscribe. So hit that little button down at the bottom of the page. You know where to find us.
Yep, all of our social media links are right in the description. Help yourselves.
And make sure you hit that little bell so you can get notifications whenever we up a new one every Monday.
Every Monday.
Bye.